Gotta love it. Over to you, Pete.
James, thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce you to Zara, who has brittle bone disease, her mum Sophie, and Aaron Schindler, head of the Bioengineering and Molecular Medicine Laboratory, what a title, at the Children's Hospital at Westmead. Make them all feel very welcome. Aaron, I'll start with you. We've heard brittle bone disease, and I don't think we ever stop and go, what is brittle bone disease? Can you explain it to us in the easiest possible way?
Sure. So brittle bone disease is a condition where the bones, even with a minimal amount of trauma, can fracture. It is a genetic condition, so that means you can't give it to anyone. You're born with it, and it's not something that's associated with bad nutrition. It is a genetic disease.
Zara, how did it affect you, and at what age did you know that you had brittle bone disease?
I think before I turned 1, it affected me a bit, just lots of broken bones, but...
And has that been throughout your years growing up? You're now 15. How many broken bones have you had?
Probably about 20, I think.
Really?
About that, yeah.
So you have to live life carefully?
Yeah, pretty carefully.
Sophie, do you live your life in cotton wool? Is that how it is?
You try, but no. I mean, we live on a farm. She's got 3 sisters. We took the approach early that it's better to have a broken bone than a broken spirit. You're definitely more careful. Things that she can't do, she can't go on a trampoline, she can't ride a horse, or those sort of things you just wouldn't do. But most things, I mean, now that she's 15, it's fine because she can self-moderate, but as a toddler, you're sort of on edge the whole time.
And are you still on edge, though? In terms of the way you live?
No, but there's certain things Zara is happy to push a few boundaries that...
What boundaries do you push?
Try not to push too many.
But you've got to be careful.
Yeah.
Are you always thinking this, if I break my leg, I break my arm, break my collarbone, that I am fragile?
Yeah, most of the time, but try not to think about it too much.
Will you get better? Will it leave you at a certain age, brittle bone disease?
No.
Does it get better or worse?
Hopefully better.
What's Aaron think?
So generally, it gets better as your bones get bigger. So as your bones get bigger, they generally get stronger, but there's always an increased risk of fracture. Zara is in some ways lucky in that she's a milder form. There are individuals with OI, or brittle bone disease, who become confined to wheelchairs and are far more limited in what they can do.
How do you treat brittle bone disease? How have you managed Zara over her 15 years? So
there's a whole bunch of common sense things that people do from a occupational therapy standpoint, of making sure that you do things that don't risk you falling over. There are medicines that we can now prescribe that will help build bones, but none of those really cure the genetic problem, and the bone quality is always weaker.
And are there moments where you go, you know what, I feel really ripped off about this?
Yeah, a bit. My sisters are pretty sporty, but no, I don't mind it.
You can't play touch footy or anything like that?
No, not a touch person.
So what do you do?
Mostly just swimming.
Swimming?
Is the best one.
Good on you. Champion swimmer?
Yes. Water polo?
Not really.
Good on you. Water polo and a good dose of modesty as well.
Exactly.
Well, it's lovely to have met you both. Aaron, thank you very much for explaining brittle bone disease to us. Community support and funding play a huge role in the work you do. Just how important are donations from the public and other organisations, and what impact do they have on your work in trying to find a cure with brittle bone disease?
So public funding and community support is essential for what we do. And donations we've received this year have been instrumental to the progress we've been making.
Fantastic. Aaron, Sophie, Zara, good luck, especially with your water polo and your swimming. Thanks so much for joining us today. Zara's story is brought to you by a generous donation from the Flicker of Hope Foundation, and we'd also like to acknowledge the Tiki Foundation. OK, time now for a break. We've got more powerful stories and, yep, more of the Wiggles.